First this afternoon, it's time for our Find a Friend segment, and it's a rascally one brought to you by our friends at Rascal Animal Hospital. And our featured animal this week certainly have a spring in their step. We're talking about those rascally rabbits. They're a different type of household pet, of course. And if cared for properly, they can be a fun addition to any household. Of course, you recognize Dr. G, Michelle Gonzalez. Thanks for being here again today, Michelle.
Thanks, Dave.
And who do we have with us today?
This is a little girl from the Humane Society of Greater Dayton. And she doesn't have a name, so she needs both a name and a home. So right now, she's just rabbit number one.
And rabbit number one is a big rabbit with big ears. Where did this rabbit come from, Michelle?
She came from a hoarding situation, somebody that had too many animals that they could take care for. So the Humane Society helped with taking some of these rabbits. So they have 3 of them that need a home, in addition to a lot of other rabbits that they have at their shelter.
Let's talk about rabbits as pets. How do they do in the home?
They do really well. You know, obviously, people need to educate themselves really well about rabbits prior to getting a rabbit. A lot of people, like for Easter, they think that, hey, let's get a rabbit for my kid or something like that, and they don't really understand. These are animals just like a dog or a cat that is a long-term commitment. They, on average, live between 7 and 10 years of age. Well-cared for rabbits can live even as older as 12 years of age. So it's a long-term commitment to take care of these guys.
And people think of them with their smaller children especially, and they really need to understand the responsibility that comes along with having a pet like that.
Right, absolutely. Rabbits are not like dogs and cats as far as they don't like to be picked up and carried around. They're also more fragile, like their back. They can literally kick hard enough that they can damage their back. Also, like kids see on the cartoons, like Bugs Bunny being pulled by the ears and that kind of stuff, and that is actually something that you never want to do to a rabbit. You don't want to pick them up by the ears, scruff them, anything like that. Their back feet are really powerful. So if a young child doesn't know what they're doing and tries to pick them up, a rabbit can potentially hurt them.
Right.
So that doesn't mean that they're not a good pet for a kid. You just have to make sure that the kid is mature enough and understands enough about them.
And educate yourself to the point where you understand it's not a dog or a cat.
Right.
Yet they still have some of the same needs medically in terms of shots, spaying and neutering still important, and all those types of things.
Well,
right?
not vaccines as much, but really spay and neuter is very important, not just for health issues, but also for behavioral issues. And then it's also important to take them to the vet regularly. Even though they don't get shots, they need their ears checked, their skin checked, they need their teeth. Their teeth on rabbits are constantly growing. So it's really important to take them to the vet to make sure that they're not causing a condition called malocclusion, which just means that the teeth are kind of growing on each other, and sometimes they need to have them trimmed. Same thing with their nails, they need to be trimmed. And that's something that a veterinarian can teach a pet owner to do at home. Another thing that they're very similar to dogs or to cats is that they can be litter box trained. So people can learn how to use a litter box, and they can be very clean animals in that sense.
Well, and that's the other question is, do you let a rabbit just roam around your house? Do you keep them in a kennel or a cage type of situation?
At the beginning, very important to keep them in an enclosed area, both so that they have kind of like a home base, so that they feel safe. And the best thing is not to have, like, in pet stores, they have small crates for rabbits. Those are good for transport, but not really a place where a rabbit should live. Really more like an exercise pen, something that is big enough for the rabbit to be able to stand up, to run around, to lay and stretch. Those are the best places. And then when the person is at home, definitely it is okay to let them roam around. They should just not be allowed to roam loose without supervision.
Right. Now, of course, the obvious thing people would think is, well, it's a rabbit. I just need to feed her carrots all the time. But it's more than carrots, right?
Absolutely.
You really need to take care of their diet.
Absolutely.
Right?
You know, a lot of people think of carrots and think of just pellets. And actually, the base of their diet should be Timothy hay is the best thing for them. And then pellets that are hay-based. We want to stay away from the ones that say premium because they have like a lot of fruits, a lot of seeds, things that are additive that can actually cause a lot of fatty issues with rabbits. Rabbits need to have diets high in fiber. So as far as the greens, we like to recommend like mustard greens, the carrot tops, and then it is okay for them to have other kinds of vegetables and fruits. People just need to learn what kind of things are proper or not. And an excellent source of information is the Columbus House Rabbit Society. They have a page of information on rabbits, and it goes from everything from how to house them, how to give them exercise, and how to feed them, what to feed them.
Perfect. Dr. G, thanks for being here. All of your information has been on the screen as we've gone along. We need to get this rabbit a home and a name.
Right, exactly.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
For more information on today's Find a Friend Animal, as well as the Rascal Animal Hospital, just go to our website, NBC4i.com. Click on the daytime icon.